tell us about all the things that we usually show you on the loop and vamp for me for a second while I go verify the live streams. Riz, take it away. What should the people know about our friends and sponsors that we usually see before on the pre-show?
Well, of course, we have to do our sponsors, Slice on Broadway, which I just had. They also make really good hoagies. There's also Top Rope Tabletop, which is on Indie Wrestling US's Twitches and YouTubes and Facebooks and
Oh my
all
God,
sorts
Riz,
of
did you
things.
see that last episode of that?
Of course I did.
Yes, I mean they played board games and it was so much fun. They played the thing and they played the Don't Talk to Strangers game that's been in the back of the studio forever that we said we've been going to play for the last decade. It was so much fun.
Still waiting to play the VHS wrestling game that you have
We
over there.
are definitely interested in doing the VHS wrestling game again, and they are very interested in doing that. And nice little side placeholder thing, so that was kind of a blast.
And of course, we got to talk about IndieWrestling.us, where you can find,
Yes, we do.
a lot of wrestling.
How much wrestling, Riz?
RWA, 880 Wrestling, VCW, wow, VOW,
And VOW.
and VOW.
Yes, we just
We
renewed our
have a
license with them.
backlog of
Neo Pro.
Neo Pro, APWF.
And I'll say it here, Flow Wrestling's coming on
Flow
in the next week or two, so as soon as I get a moment to put it up. We have shows this week with APWF on Sunday featuring Rhino, not the animal. We have
The one who
RWA with
Enzo
stole again.
Yep, of
Riz,
course,
you're going to
Enzo.
hang with Enzo again.
Don't talk to me, Enzo, please. Actually, please talk to me. It'll be fine. Just don't sit in front of our desk again.
You know what? You know what? Riz runs a mean show backstage, and you can't teach that. All right?
You probably can.
Well, I mean, okay. I guess we have because we taught Riz. Oh, I shared the post. Wait. Oh, I thought I just shared
what
the
did you
show
do?
to the Awesome Cast instead of Mayhem
What
Show.
did you
We're gonna
do?
fix that right now. Boom, there you go. Okay, hypothetically, we're live right now. So we're going to go through the motions. What? You
just
have anything else
wait.
that we're missed? Yes. Just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Just
Just
wait.
wait.
Actually, just wait. Something. Attack. All you gotta do is attack. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Attack. All right. Actually, we do have the intro. Let's play it now.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna hear Joe's voice for a minute. We'll be right back.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
Oh, it's over. It's a Wrestling
done.
Mayhem Show.
That was quick.
Episode 961 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorgat Sorgatron in the Hampton Inn in Adrian, Michigan right now. We're out here for another lively event. And it will be live as well this weekend, actually. We'll be up the Michigan Speedway with the production team and a lot of our friends, and maybe one wrestler on with our friends at Formula SAEEV. But that is not here for nor there. We talked more about that on the Awesome Cast this evening, so go check that out. And I swear I'm going to fix the audio with it because I got the AC running in the background because we're mobile. I'm on AirPods. I have a cough, and I have a lizard on my shoulder. But first, we do have with us from the Riz Cave, and is going to help holding things down while I'm gone at RWA and 880 this week. The Riz.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do this again.
What do you have on your shoulder? What is that guy?
I have a
Is it
little turtle. I have a little
my
turtle.
God, a little
Oh,
turtle.
jeez.
Look at- Oh, no, he fell. Oh, turtle down,
It's
turtle
fine.
down.
It's
Oh,
fine.
no,
It's
turtle
fine.
down.
He's right here. He's right here. He's fine.
This is why we don't work with animals on podcasts.
right here. It's right here.
It's everybody's safe.
They're
Everything's
fine.
going to be
They're
okay,
fine.
guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Riz, who do we have with us today?
We have the true Prince of Pro, T-Pop.
Hey, so I didn't get the memo that we were bringing
yeah.
animals to the podcast.
Green animals.
We're very. I don't know why
Had
you
I
haven't
known,
seen
I
this
would have
trend.
looked for something.
Listen,
That's fine.
listen,
It's
Matt.
just-
You are on top of trends. You're always there at the forefront of things. I don't know how you saw the lizard craze coming this week, and it was like a big. It's like the big green wave, if you will, Matt.
Yeah.
But no, we did not send the memo out. So,
It just happened.
it did just happen. I mean, it just kind of happened on a lot of fronts. So, yeah, no, I got it. It's Francesca, isn't it? Is that the name of his lizard? Mr. Iguana's lizard?
I have no idea what the lizard's name is.
It's a cool little lizard thing. We've been talking the last few weeks, and somebody posted in the Mayhem group about like you better buy one before they're $100 on WWE Shop. This is just a lizard that is it's an iguana, and it's a puppet. Just like he has, and I'm pretty sure it is the same one to my
It's the
knowledge.
same puppet. It looks like
It is
the
the
It
same
looks
puppet.
exactly the same.
It was like the post that was shared. It was going for $40. I found it for about 26, and I think it's gone up a few bucks since I purchased it. So it is.
Wonder
a
why.
Folk Menace puppet. It's iguana puppet, and there's some fun facts about it in here. I know this is not typically the show for this. Iguanas are a large and diverse family of lizards, mostly found in the New World. Who calls it like?
New World Order?
Okay, and iguanas love to bask in the sun and can withstand high temperatures without suffering. Should have brought it out on Baja. Baby iguanas often emerge together in a nest and remain in social groups even after they mature.
You're
And
moving the
throughout the
mouth
tropics,
while
iguana
you
populations,
talk.
we're educational on this show, have been depleted due to overhunting, capturing, and pet market and destruction of their rainforest habitat. So there you go. The true lesson here is don't get an iguana, don't get a pet iguana, get a puppet iguana.
You know,
They last longer, you don't have to feed it.
Bobby F. J. Town would love this show.
By the way,
And
by
this
the way,
wrestler.
the same company makes his turtle puppet.
Yep.
That he
Wait, did you
introduced
ask him?
No, it was on the same page.
Oh.
I'm just like, that's Bobby's puppet. The one that Jeff Cobb loved.
The one that
The one that
what's his-
Chris LaRosso kicked.
Yeah, that's right. No.
Nope. I have no idea what's going on in the chat room because my phone is. So let me know if anything's going on there. Oh, I found the chat room. Nope, that's me. Let me know if there's anything in the chat, Riz, if you're able to, because I have.
Am I able to, Sorg?
I don't know.
Am I
don't
still
know.
able to?
I don't know. Riz has been banned as of WrestleMania. He got banned for the Wrestling Mayhem Show chat groups for some reason. Apparently, for what was it? For
I was like,
what was the list? What was it listed as? It was like asking
Hang
promising financial gain somehow.
and I was just asking about Gunther's return, or no, Rusev's return. That's all I was doing. And all of a sudden, I was like,
apparently
yeah,
Rusev's
no.
return on investment, it would seem. So either way, here we are. We got a puppet, and this show has been missing puppets, and I'm glad we have a reason for it. Mr. Iguana is still the news. Mr. Iguana may have some heat. Mr. Iguana said that he may be signed and going straight to the main roster, and Mr. Iguana may have had a call from HR. Listen, I understand like it's a different culture. Like I've had discussions with a friend of the show about that before, about working down there for his up here, and I think Mr. Iguana did not get the memo about how WWE works. But and obviously it's fast track based on that reaction because Mr. Iguana is a internet sensation now, and we're all buying puppet iguanas. So
I
I'd say
mean, to
that's a
be
win.
fair, he got to be best friends with Shawn Michaels and Joe Hendry in the last week, so
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Iguana is doing very well right now.
Yeah.
So, but yes, and still the question: is he an iguana or does he think he's an iguana? I can't wait for Corey Graves to try to figure that out. So, well, actually, I guess he kind of was already. So, a lot of Mexican wrestling news this week, and now we're all focused on it. It's kind of the hot thing right now after the Worlds Collide show. Matt, you watched a little bit of the Triple Mania stuff. I know you said they were putting some of the stuff on YouTube.
yeah, there was, from what I saw, it was like 2 hours, and it was just the 3 matches. of the X Division title match, the 4-way tag title match, and then the main event for the AAA Mega Championship. And the biggest news out of all of that is Angel and Berto of Legado del Fantasma are now the AAA champions. They won the tag titles in a great 4-way match.
Nice.
So definitely recommend anyone check that out. The X Division was pretty good, but that main event, that cage match, was like the most chaotic thing I've ever seen. Peak lucha of like, oh yeah, let's have 15 runs in a cage match. So
And I'm waiting for the general, wrestling population to kind of get in and be like, oh, this is like bad wrestling, et cetera, et cetera. This doesn't make any sense.
oh, I had a
This
great
is-
time watching it.
I know, but this
Of all
is
the chaos,
I'm here for it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. It's gonna be goofy. It's not gonna make sense. It's gonna look like dance moves. All those kinds of things. I know Jim Cornette's probably already saying on his podcast, allegedly. So, and I do not hate every opinion that Cornette has, but obviously, the internet fandom now has a focus on it, and we're gonna hear all this crap about it, right? So, but in the meantime, like I love it because it is so different, and I'm really hoping. So you said they got the I'm hoping they're showing up on SmackDown with those championships, much like IWGP belts popping up on AEW and TNA back in the day, right?
Yeah, I hope so, because the way they present them, like when you watched Worlds Collide and how they present them there, it's the same way of like Legado del Fantasma feels like bigger stars, which they haven't felt like in a long time. So I hope, especially with what's been going on with the tag division on SmackDown, how everyone's like trying to fight the Wyatt Six. If like they come in and they're like, oh, we have our own belts, like they'd feel bigger in that situation too.
Could you imagine the Wyatt Six going to AAA for some wild reason?
God.
I mean, there's so much.
Yes.
So many doors have been opened. The less forbidden door has been opened now, right?
It's not a door.
It's so much fun. It's more like a, I don't know.
It's a hallway now.
It's a hallway. It's a beaded curtain. It's a forbidden beaded curtain or something, right? It's fun. It's fun. We get to have, and again, they bought it, and you can debate about like whether that was a great thing for wrestling as a whole, or for Mexican wrestling as a whole. But in the meantime, we are getting WB just opened that. Hey, how do we get that excitement that AEW is getting with all the international championships? Now they can do that, right? Vikingo just showed up and did a mega championship with Chad Gable. These guys have the belts now, and they can pop over the TNA and defend the AAA championships, I guess, maybe at some point, because apparently that's a thing we can do now. And also remember, does anybody remember TNA's had a deal with AAA for a couple years now? So like this is this plays into everything, right? I feel like TNA is at this point. This is an old conversation, I suppose, but TNA is at this point. Like, remember when ECW? And I missed it. But ECW for a while was just showing up on Raw, right? And there was like a feud, and there was.
But
an
this is
agreement.
different than that. This is
with
because
TNA.
you see, with TNA, because you have, I guess Lawler did go to TNA, did go to ECW at one point too.
He did.
But like during that time, you wouldn't see like, let's say, a Triple H win a ECW championship or something like that. You would see like ECW guys team with a Jerry Lawler to face ECW people. Like you wouldn't see WB stars going there to wrestle. You would see them cut promos on how ECW makes professional wrestling looks, even though in that time the Attitude Era was kind of stealing most of their stuff.
Yeah, and even like back then, they weren't even like fully advertised like that. Like Al Snow was in WWE and he went to ECW, but they weren't like, oh, this is WWE's Al Snow. It was just like, oh, he got to create his own character now. Now we watch TNA, and it's just like NXT this, NXT that. They're like forcibly like showing you like, oh, this is important, this is big.
But it is, yeah, and it is happening on NXT talking about TNA too, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
like it's like a nice. I mean, they don't mention hey go over to Access or anything because CW wouldn't like that. But you know, there's a little bit of that situation going on. But no, I think but again, like we're talking about it. We're on a podcast talking about it. We're not talking about being shitty about it. You know, like it's got the buzz. You know, and we're really excited for it and everything, right? So, but yeah, no, I think it's really cool what we're doing there, and it kind of lean into that, you know, and then remember we also do have AEW has their own, and obviously WWE announced a super show that's going to happen, so it's non-televised, they're just doing house shows, which they do very rarely. I think they're doing some in Texas I was seeing, but there's not much happening unless it's like something around an international market. Otherwise, they've really kind of tamped down on it. But obviously AEW still has a CMLL. A friend of the show, Lady Frost, is still doing a lot of stuff with CMLL, and then popping up back at AEW. They have that kind of running thing, which is great. You're not being used on TV up here. Go down there for a while. They're still working. They're still doing some cool stuff, right? So in the meantime, they have. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you see how AEW has that working relationship with a New Japan? Do you see somewhere down the line? I think there were talks about it, where
there's always talks
about not New Japan, but like All Japan, or something other than like not New Japan, but because New Japan's obviously going with AEW for some time.
Yeah,
you see,
haven't they been doing stuff with like Pro Wrestling Noah sometimes?
I think they
too?
have, because I think
that one guy's down in NXT.
Yeah.
That's teaming with Josh Briggs, and Omos was there for a bit.
Omos was there as well.
So WWE's like thrown in with Noah, obviously, right?
So we just have a nice little grouping going on here.
You are, like people are kind of internationally picking sides, which makes it even more interesting, right? So on AEW side, they're actually going to do a show from Mexico, something that WWE has not done yet, right? So I'm really interested to see how this looks. Obviously, they've done one from, I think this is going to be live, because obviously the Australian one was not. 5:30 Central Time is the ticket time on this one. They have 5 matches announced for this. I believe this is just going to be a Dynamite. I know they've done 4-hour shows the last couple weeks. And I think this is just maybe their taping collision on this one. But I think there might be a show this weekend. So Mercedes Moné and I can't make this go bigger. Zeuxis, she's the CMLL World Women's Champion. That's going to be part 2.5-hour event. They're calling it, by the way. I'm sure there's going to be much more on the show than what's announced here on my page. So that's going to be a big one.
Tina is saying it's a 2.5-hour Dynamite.
Yes. Big holy crap. God, how many people? 12-person tag match is going to happen.
That seems about right.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, that seems
Adam
about
Cole, FTR,
right up there.
Josh Alexander, Hechicero, Protoshita. Protoshita. Oh, that's Takesha and oh God, what's his name?
Kyle Fletcher.
Thank you. Cole King, Garcia, Bandito, Templaro, Aladdis Jr., MJF and Mystico. Obviously, they've been building to that. I love Super America MJF. He's such an asshole, and I just love it. So, and we also got Death Riders, Young Bucks against the Oswald, Ospreay, and Swerve Strickland. That has nothing to do with Mexico. Okay, moving on. But it's part of what's going on. Mascara Dorado, Ricochet, Hologram, Leo Rush in a 4-way. It looks like. So there's fun stuff. I love when they bring they have been doing so much with the luchadors when it comes to like Ring of Honor and stuff, and it's always a lot of fun. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what the fan base looks like there. I think they're in Arena Mexico, aren't they, on this thing? Let me see if I can find that again. I think it is Arena Mexico.
I think so.
I think you're right.
So, Mexico City, Arena Mexico, yeah. So, I mean, they're in, like, you know, the Madison Square Garden of freaking of Mexico. So to my knowledge, you know, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but yeah, that's incredible, and that's cool, and cool. I think it's cool to have the focus on there on Mexican wrestling right now, even with, you know, stuff going on here in this country. You know, I think that's a pretty cool deal. By the way, this thing sits really well on the shoulder.
That's why he kicks it up. That's why he kicks it up from the floor.
So well. I walked into the hotel with this thing, you know, like walking around. Well, actually, we attached it to my backpack. Katie did, and I was like, yeah, I'll go with it and see if he stays. But yeah, he sits really well. It's well, you know, good weight to it, and, you know, relatively. I just want to be able to do that kick up thing that he does, like pop it up on the shoulder.
Pretty sure that's pretty easy though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, you know, they maybe played soccer or something. Maybe. Oh, he's like, is he a Taekwondo guy or judo or something like that? He was listed as. So, like, he knows how to do that kind of stuff. Let's just put it that way, better than I can. My uncoordinated ass. Anywho,
and Arena Mexico is the wrestling 4 pillars from Tina Keys.
Okay, as in that
Locations.
Madison Square Garden, Tokyo Dome, and what would be the 4th? That's escaping me right now. Washington Hall. Got it.
ECW Arena. No.
ECW Arena is one of the pillars? Okay.
No.
No,
I mean,
it could be.
let's see. Wrestling's 4 pillars. You know what? Let's just go here. Oh, nope. That's just telling me it's Misawa, Kawada, Kobashi, and Tao. It's definitely not
I
them.
thought it was Sammy Guevara. 6 of the most iconic venues in wrestling is this one article, which is MSG 2300, Dallas Sportatorium, Tokyo Dome, Thunderdome. What?
It's a Thunderdome?
What the hell? Who
The
wrote
WB
this article?
Thunderdome?
I disqualified this article. I'm not even going to say what website it was. That's what you get. That is what you get. Matt, did you say that you watched? You said you watched like the cage match and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me.
Yeah.
You said it was like a run-in palooza of a
Oh,
sort.
it was very confusing as someone who hasn't been following the story, because I guess there's like a backlash with like how WWE's coming in to take over. So like people in Mexico seem to be rejecting Vikingo now, because like they were booing him and cheering Del Rio.
Oh no!
But then it was like weird because it was like Del Rio's with JBL, El Macias, like this whole heel faction, and like everyone's still booing JBL because he's doing his whole like, oh, you can't cross the border type stuff. And then
Oh my gosh!
Del Rio like does a move and they're like, yeah, Del Rio, and it's very confusing. But then it's like run-in after run-in, and like Octagon Jr. came out with like a little fire extinguisher, climbed the cage and tried to blind Del Rio with it. And then one of Del Rio's family members hopped the rail and got him off of there. It was so weird because he like got Octagon Jr. down, came in to help Del Rio, and then like picked him up and tried to carry him up the cage. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you win. So he's doing that. Laredo Kid came out, knocked them down, did a dive off the cage. And then it still went on for like 5 more minutes after all this. After like every run-in was exhausted, they're like, no, we still gotta do more stuff. They did a table bump off the cage.
And is this still Spanish language that you're watching here? So,
Yes.
Oh, so,
So I had no clue who was on what team.
So there's no chance of like catching up unless you did very well in school or
Yeah.
Duolingo.
Oh, also, Latin Lover came out with Sling On because they attacked him at a press conference. Because I saw that online. He came out with...
Is this the same Latin Lover that was on the 1994 Royal Rumble?
I assume
I
so.
think it is. I think it is
Yeah.
actually because they were doing.
yeah.
They did a package on AAA about him. and like I seem to recall him from early things, like more and more WCW.
I remember like going up. I'm sorry, going off a tangent here, but I remember going into a Rumble watch party with our friend Lunchbox. I think it was him. We were watching the '94 Rumble and we were like, you know who this guy is? He's pointing. That's the Latin Lover. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I have no idea. And it's okay, cool.
I love it.
That might have been just in my dreams.
Maybe,
Lunchbox is
Very
always in
possible.
everybody's dreams. It's fine.
He is. I still hear his voice. So
But yeah, it was with the Latin Lover thing. It was so weird because he comes out with a sling, fights everyone off with one arm, and then they did a thing where Del Rio and Vikingo were on the cage, but the door's open. For some reason, they're climbing it, but they're climbing by the door, and Latin Lover tries to handcuff Del Rio to the rope, but because he only has the one arm in use, he messed it up the first time, so the handcuff didn't latch onto him, and he runs away, and someone has to point out that didn't work, so he ran back up the steps and locked him in the handcuffs, and then before Vikingo even got out, the handcuffs broke, and Del Rio just fell, so he just had to lay on the ground and just wait for Vikingo to win the match.
I love this. I love this on so many levels. It's just so wrestling to me, But I'm here for it. Man, the other thing is missing is I know, and I don't know what's happened with it. I know, our buddy Joe Dabrowski was doing the English commentaries when they were on Triller. I haven't seen that anywhere, and if anybody could tell me where that is, I'd love to see it. I don't know who's doing it. I don't think he is anymore, but I'm, I could be wrong. So I don't know. It's peculiar. So especially with what they've just done, I was like, aren't they doing this to make this more accessible for the rest of us?
Yeah.
Or maybe there just needs time to do that. But it just feels like you own this company. Obviously, it went through. Why aren't you putting resources in to make sure we can see it too?
Yeah,
So-
that was my biggest issue with all of
just
it,
put it
where
on
it's
a
like
network.
you've been promoting it on Worlds Collide of like, oh, here's this big thing, here's all these cool new people you're going to see, and then it's like, let's make it the hardest thing possible for someone in America to watch.
And Riz, you just said put it on Netflix. Like you
Or
like you said,
not Netflix, but like just put it on the Peacock.
you put
it on Peacock,
Well,
it's fine.
you do have. I mean, they have whatever agreements they may already have. Maybe they are on something. Maybe they're on Telemundo for all I know. Actually, I think they used to be, right? I feel like I remember Riz and I would, or not Riz, Chachi and I, when we were in high school, when I finally got like satellite dish and stuff, like we had Telemundo and we turned on some wrestling. I don't know if it was AAA or CMLL, honestly. It was I just knew it was Mexican wrestling, and we put it on and we left it on in that channel, and somehow we were laughing at the jokes that we didn't understand after leaving it on all night one time. So that kind of thing. So wow, I watched them a long time ago. So now I think about it, but yeah,
the whole event's on their AAA YouTube page.
Yes, I'm seeing that. It's about an hour 42 event. And as far as like playing on Peacock and stuff, like, they have rights to whatever, like I said, Max in Mexico has it. So I'm sure there's some, hang up there. Maybe it is Telemundo has it. Although if they have Telemundo, I think that's a Comcast company. So you can put it on the cock for that.
Like you don't even have to have the commentators there. Just have Conan come in and Corey in the studio and just call it
Kind of
out.
like the old Jim Ross. God, who was it? Jim Ross and somebody used to do that for the New Japan shows. But again, New Japan.
Wasn't it
Kevin
Josh
Cal-
Barnett?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
Josh Barnett, because he was at that
Yeah.
one pay-per-view they did in California, like one of the first ones where Burnett.
Well, yeah, when he went to jump the rail at Jay White because Jim Ross got pushed over.
Oh my God!
He's like, oh, I gotta kill him now.
Yeah. Oh, it was wild. They were doing ridiculous stuff that night. It looked like so. But yeah, it's I think it might have even been live on Access or whatever it was at the time too. So they've got that figured out, and I'm sure it'll come. Honestly, like maybe it will be part of Netflix worldwide or something. Maybe they have to get because I would imagine, and I don't know for a fact, but I feel like this was probably in other, I feel like AAA has to be on in other Spanish, language places, right? So I think that could be part of it too. So I don't know. Who knows? It's still a mystery to me. I'm learning, and I love that there's like a door to new wrestling that's really interesting has been opened because of everything that's happening between CMLL, AAA, AEW, and WWE, obviously. So like it's just makes things more interesting, and there's more to play with, more toys to play with and view, and literally more toys to play with now because of puppet lizards like this. So before we move on, I do want to take a moment and give some shout outs to the people that are part of the reason why we are here in a hotel room in Adrian, Michigan, trying to do a podcast here on the Tuesday night before I have to go work on a Speedway tomorrow. Our friends at Patreon, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, including our friends at the fan show of the show level, Bo Diggity, Ooh, his hands a little better. Team Hammer Fist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer of the Triple B Podcast and APWF, which is having a show this weekend in Indiana, Pennsylvania at the S&T Arena. We'll be streaming on our platforms. Jason French at the Poppy Club level, Dave Papa-Ponner, Rassin Trenchcoat Kincaid, True Prince of Pro, Matt Birch.
Hey.
Right now.
That's me.
Pizza Club level, The Riz, which has written by there. That's me. And at the manager level, did we figure out you can do this?
No, I don't have it.
It's Bradley.
I don't have it.
No, Bradley.
It's somewhere.
No.
Just picture. I'll make up for
Use
it.
the theater of the mind to see Saturday Night Special giving a wedgie.
Was it DD Vice? It was DD Vice.
I think it was DD Vice. Listen. I used to talk to Marcus Swift all the time, but when they're both in the ring, I have that. We've talked about the tag team blindness on this show, right? Like when there's a tag team, I can't tell the difference, even though I know them individually.
It's the worst. It happens every time on like 880 when like a new team comes in, and I'm just like, I don't know who this is. I can't find their social media. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
I'm just like, I think this is their name.
Yeah, the Luca Corey guys from the UK. No idea which was which. Can't tell you. Like, if somebody's been individual and then become a tag team, that's a lot easier for me to digest. Angel and Garza still screwed up. I had a problem with the Hardys for a while. I can't even tell you which ICP member was on a track for the longest time when I first listened to them for a couple years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. They both have face paint. They kind of sound the same. Oh, wait, I guess there is different. Wait, who is this? Then to do collab tracks, and I'd be like, okay, who's this guy? Kind of thing. But that was early on. I figured it out by now. But anywho, and now I gotta try to tell lizards apart. I mean, I'm screwed, guys. I'm so screwed. This is why I'm not on commentary. Oh, I'd screwed up so bad. I'd be so bad as commentary. So, side note, we had something where there was an emergency, and the event organizer on Sunday left off, speeded off on a golf cart, pointing at me, and I'm like, oh God, what does that mean?
What did you do?
Well, I'm setting up for the live stream for this award ceremony at Baja, and one of the event organizers, local event organizers, comes over. It's like, he would like you to start the awards presentation, and I'm like,
why?
Technically, I can do that, but I have a live stream that I have to make sure is okay. So technically, I can't do that. Then he comes back, and like 2 minutes later, it turned out to be nothing. But he came right back, and he's like, dude, I can't do that. He's like, but you do a podcast. I do a podcast for them, and I'm just like, that's not the problem. The problem is I have a live stream to do for you to get this out that I've owed you guys, so I should have made Katie go up and do it, and I'll take the pictures. I should have just sent Katie. That should have been the answer.
Just give it to Katie.
Dutters could have done it. Dutters is
make Dutters do everything.
1,000 students and be like, "Hello, young peoples."
Sword, just stay in the studio, just stay in the office, your hotel room, and just let Dutters do it.
Dutters doesn't know I'm giving her half the jobs this week.
Good.
So
make it more.
Well, I sent her to hey, go find a printer. We got to print out our parking pass for tomorrow. So she don't know this yet. This is a wrestling show, though, guys, and there's a lot more happening. There's a King of the Ring happening. Gunther is the new champion that I don't think we talked much about last week. Honestly.
We didn't.
I don't know how we didn't. We did because there was a lot of sleeper holes that we're really excited about that. But
I mean, we can talk about the good things about.
Well,
we can start with the
the great
we can start
things,
with
like
the king and queen.
Goldberg might finally have his chance. We lost Riz. Oh, no, where'd he go? He went off screen. Oh no,
He's gone.
I'm gonna widescreen.
Come back, Riz.
Is he okay?
Come back.
He's got a hand on the face. Okay, Riz, you're full screen now. I want to see this full. Oh my God, that look is so.
I
Hi. You're not here for this?
No, I'm not.
Goldberg's gonna finally get his in Atlanta with Gunther, because apparently he was disrespected by Gunther in Atlanta before, which I don't recall, but apparently he does,
because he.
nobody holds grudges in wrestling.
Well, I think it was because Goldberg said his favorite wrestler was Bret Hart. Or no, wait, no, I'm thinking Gunther said that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gunther said that to. No, wait, no, Gunther said Brett Goldberg was his favorite. I think Gunther also said to Goldberg Bret Hart was his favorite.
Played both
He
sides.
played both sides on that one.
Oh man, like Gunther is the true negotiator, obviously.
But yeah, I don't want this.
You're not happy about this, Riz?
No,
You're
I'm
good
not.
with this, Riz? You're not
I'm
good
not.
with this, buddy? Oh no.
I'm not happy with Bill Goldberg going in there and doing things in the ring at 60,
Okay.
whatever, or 58, whatever the hell he is. But like when he came out, he was already limping to the ring, and I'm like, just you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. You're one match back. Like when it was in Saudi was garbage. So it's fine. No more. Go. Like you play with your cars some more.
I mean, he's not at the spry age of a Ron Killings, 53 years old. He's 58. So
What? Are you
uh,
excited for a Bill Goldberg Gunther match? No, you're not.
I mean, I kinda am, to be fair.
okay, Matt, give Riz the counterpoint. Why are you digging
Well, see, it's not really the most counterpoint. It's just the idea of Goldberg is fun to me, where it's just like, okay, I'm a pro wrestler. My move is spear, jackhammer, I win. That's all he does. So it's just like, oh, you put him up against another big guy, and then they just beat each other up for a bit. Doesn't gotta go long, 4 or 5 minutes,
No.
and then it'll be fun. Plus, the idea of Gunther trying to do the powerbomb to Goldberg that he always does, and then Goldberg might not be able to get up, that's pretty fun.
I mean, they're not even going to go to a commercial break in the middle of that match.
Oh, not at all.
It's going to be in Atlanta.
It's a WWE speed match. That's what it's gonna be.
It's a WWE speed match.
Wait, are they
You know
selling?
what? Can we put Goldberg with the speed title? Can we just do
Wait,
that?
Yes.
Wait.
That's
Are
what
they
I want.
Are they selling Last Ride Goldberg merch? They are.
Yeah, he had a new shirt on Raw.
Oh, these look horrible.
Oh no! I'm going to shop and checking it out here. Do they have the Blizzards?
Why are his eyes like that?
Oh, that's something. Oh, that is something.
What's funny is the way WWE Shop does their merch. You ain't gonna get that shirt till after Goldberg's retired. So it's like, oh, here's his last ride. He's already gone.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we did with Ron Cena. He was released right after that.
Yeah, this item will be shipped no later than July 18th. And again, that is
my
that's
birthday,
the
by the
latest. You could still get it in 2 weeks.
Hey,
you know,
if you want to get that for my birthday, it's no
you
later
do that
than
for your birthday. You want
no later
You
than.
just said you didn't like it.
I don't like it at all.
Okay, what size are you, Riz?
Way too
1X?
big for this.
You want 2X? Oh, okay. How about a 2X?
Sure.
Okay, they want to add that to cart. Didn't we give you like a 4X one time for some reason?
It was the No Mercy tournament.
Yes, and we're just
Was
like,
it,
here.
was it that? Was it that
Here,
one? Yeah, it was that
swim
one.
in this, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I, yeah, that was fun. But this is only going to be fun if for those 5 minutes, Gunther just wins.
By the
Like,
way, we have some
wins
shout outs
big.
in the chat room over on the Wrestling Mayhem Show YouTube. Eve, Riot Girls of Wrestling, just wanted to send a shout out to True Prince of Pro. And
thank you.
Toddy
for all the
Thundera's in the
rumors.
chat.
Plus for all the rumors. What's that? Who is?
Toddy.
Toddy.
The pink
Toddy,
cap of T-Pop is iconic.
Oh, thanks,
Yes.
Toddy.
I can always find you in the crowd, Matt.
Yep, that's
plus
my
for-
Ziggy Haim shirt or hat.
Yes. For all the rumors, this is Goldberg's swan song. Let him have his moment and let Gunther get his from Goldberg match. It's all good. I'll be watching All In, but I'll catch it after. Yeah, we're gonna be watching All
Yeah,
In anyways,
that's
right?
true.
Let's say. I mean, did they really talk it into not watching All In instead of this? Although it's probably gonna be done by the time the show comes on anyways. But
That's true.
I mean, you're probably gonna be skipping Great American Bash instead and watching All In. Let's be honest. So I don't mind that a show got canceled that I was supposed to do, so that I can watch All In. So we're gonna have a weekend of wrestling on the 12th. It's great. It's great, guys. It's great. We'll probably do Top Rope Tabletop that weekend. I don't know. I think it's scheduled. I don't know. I have to check my stuff. I don't know. I have a lizard on my shoulder in Michigan. What do I know what's going on?
And so, were you talking about the UK promotion, Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling?
I don't know. That's the account name. So is a UK promotion talking to us,
I don't know. Tina Keys is questioning.
asking questions? Well, hold on. I'm going to find out in a second. But we'll figure that out. I'm going to channel, and yes, this looks like a wrestling channel. Oh my God, there's music and it auto plays, and I'm
course
loving
it auto-plays.
their music's pretty great. And subscribe. Okay, there you go.
But yeah, other than that,
mhm.
and I know Matt, you really wanted to talk. You were actually really interested in the King and Queen of the Ring tourneys.
Oh yeah, this has been like one of the most fun tournaments for me personally, because like I see people complaining online about like, oh, there's run-ins for this and that and that. I love the chaos, so just the idea of like, okay, we're gonna do a tournament, first round, fatal four-way matches, and they're just like throwing in these big names, and it's just like, let's just see what happens. And then it's just like, oh, now Seth's got his group's getting screwed over by LA Knight, so they screw over LA Knight. It's like, that stuff's fun to me. Just all the different weaving in the storylines.
It's very comic book, isn't it? Right. So
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Like the matches have been fire. Like most of those four ways have been fire. Right.
Yeah.
They're like, it's so unpredictable for the most part. Although I think I'm on the Jey Uso's going to run the table kind of side and get back on
I don't
Gunther at
know.
SummerSlam.
I mean,
I'm thinking. I really think I don't know who else is in that spot right now.
So-
but
See,
So you're
Go
gonna
ahead.
have
Mhm.
him lose to Gunther,
It's a series, man. It's a back
and
forth.
then you're gonna have
Dude, they're
Goldberg
even.
just for the Goldberg match.
We have a Goldberg interlude, and then you get to cheer on Jay through King and Queen of the Ring, or King of the Ring, and we can have he all of a sudden converts from main event Jay to King Jay, wins the belt, and then the
The
King
Yeet
goes to his
King.
head.
Yeah.
The Yeet King, man, come on! The merch writes itself at that point.
It probably
Like,
is.
let's do
There's
this.
there's probably a Yeet sign with a crown on top of it, on top
There
of the
will be
Y,
next week.
like crooked on the Y.
Well,
like
we're gonna have Cody and Jay that will obviously end in a screw job of some sort to get
course.
Jay over.
and
to the
then
next
Sammy
step
and
here.
Sammy versus Randy,
Sammy
which
and
is
Randy.
you know high
I mean,
intensity with you know
does he
carrying
fight
cross.
his friend again? Does he fight his friend Sammy again,
Yeah.
or does he take up the almost unbeatable Orton? Right? Like what?
And then carrying cross comes in and screws Sammy.
probably
probably.
the whole thing up, right?
So that would mean Randy Orton is in another finals for the King of the Ring.
which is he got screwed out
Well-
of last year, right?
See, the way I was looking at it, though, since the finals is in Saudi, and the way they did the brackets, where it's like, oh, the semifinals, Raw versus SmackDown, Raw versus SmackDown, the only reason you do that is if two Raw people or two SmackDown people are in the finals.
Really?
So that's why I was thinking it's gonna be Sammy versus Jay in the finals.
I'm not even thinking brands at this point, though. You know, I mean, I think
But like, why would they have to do that to set the bracket up that way? If anything, they could have just still done Randy and Cody on one side and then Jay and Sammy on the other for semifinals.
I think the surprise is you get Jay and Cody at this level instead of like at the final in the pay-per-view, because you get the. I think it kind of depends on what the story is going to be, right? Obviously, we're supposing they're like, to get to here, we're going to get here first. Like, I think it's juicier to put that on one of the shows right now and do that. Oh man, they're buddies. Are they going to be okay? You know, and then the idea of them also doing potentially like I'm saying Jay's going because Cody's not winning this thing to get back at Shawn. He's going to get at him some other way. But I think you do Jay with his buddy Cody, he gets over, and then you either have his buddy Sammy or you have Randy, who still doesn't like him. Well, last I knew, Randy was like not over his involvement with Bloodline, right? So
Yeah.
like either who got screwed up last year, so he's got chip on his shoulder on top of a chip on his shoulder. Either way, it's a great story to put in the desert. You know what I mean? And I think it's worthwhile. So like I'm not. I don't think you're Raw SmackDown. Personally, I think it's more about those stories than the Raw versus SmackDown guys. It's just like these are the pieces, and this is where we wanted to land with.
We'll see. For me personally, I've been pushing that. I think Sammy's winning the tournament. Just because
it is in Saudi.
Well,
Arabia.
not only that, but with the way they've been building up oh, Sammy, you've never won the title. You've never won it. And Seth was like, oh, I'll let you go to SmackDown to go challenge that title. And he said, no, I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm thinking that he's going to win, face Gunther at SummerSlam. They have history with each other. And then there's Seth in the background. He's got the briefcase. He could either cost him there or steal the belt from him right after he wins it. Be like, nope, Sammy doesn't get it.
Sammy has the 5-minute championship to say he has a championship.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and then it makes sense because Rumble next year's in Saudi. Sammy can win the Rumble, and then we get Sammy and Seth at WrestleMania.
Oh my god, I forgot that's a thing.
So now the thing is, and I get what you're saying, Matt, but I see it a different way. I see the cash in coming. I see the cash in coming, but not for that match. I see it coming to screw over CM Punk.
Oh,
because the whole thing with Seth's delusional, or not delusion, the whole thing with Seth is he wants to ruin Punk. So why not just screw over Punk in Saudi Arabia? He's traveling all this way. He's being a hypocrite. Yeah,
Yes.
He's doing all this other stuff just to get screwed out of the title by Seth Rollins.
Yep.
but you really gonna take the belt off of Cena right before SummerSlam? Like, what does he do then?
Depends on the story.
Because he'd still be a bad guy at that point if Seth screws him.
You're building him back up.
Braun killings. Yep. And you could do so many interesting things with John. I want the last show, the last day. I want the John Cena bum rush to get that belt off of him. An attitude area. You know what? You're in a gauntlet.
Just everyone
like
beat him
this,
up.
And it's
Yeah.
nothing. And then I guess we don't have Money in the Bank. Maybe it is, but that's when Seth cashes in as the last ditch. And then now Seth has saved WWE from the terror of John Cena and holds it over everybody's heads, and leads to something really cool at Mania. Like, who knows? Or Cody gets it back. Who knows? Like, maybe it's all something.
Everybody
that
in this
we can all get
tournament,
by.
like if you look at everybody in this tournament, Sammy has issues with not winning the big one. Randy is chasing John Cena. Cody is lost to John Cena. Jay is trying to get back to winning the title.
You don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, you don't know where it's go. You know where it's going.
But tangled as my audio cords in this bin over here.
I've been told we are missing an elephant in the room, but I'm not
Or a
sure what
lizard
it
on the
is yet.
shoulder.
I asked if that was the iguana on your shoulder, but it's not. Tina was asking about that. So you can, but yeah, I mean, it's that tournament just storyline alone is fun. The women's bracket seems a lot of fun as well.
More
Like,
open-ended than I can tell.
Alexa versus Asuka next round. Jade versus Roxanne next round. Yes, and yes. Yes.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. Well, on that note, there's a lot going on this week. A
lot.
And a lot locally and on indiewrestling.us. So I want to make sure to do a highlight of that before we head out here. First of all, obviously 880 Wrestling has a free show once again. Riz, you're going to be there for that, helping out. It's our training show. It's 880's training show, and a lot week to week happening there. I know Matt, you are a very cool part of that helps us get a lot of clips out on the show on social media, and we appreciate that.
I try to be
when
when I can.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely really, really cool that they get those out. And man, they interact a lot with those clips and everything out there. So, like, my God, every time I get tagged with a collaborator from some guy named John, I know everybody's going to be mad at it. For instance, like, I just hit a button before the show for this promo he put out because he took out the Sun Timer last week, and I was already blowing up as we were starting the show. So, also, RWA has some stuff, Renegade Wrestling Alliance. I'm going to go double check that. I know they did swap out Jack Hager, Swagger.
Jake
He's
Hager.
not going to be a part of it anymore. Jake Hager, yes. But they are bringing back once again. Riz's buddy Enzo is going to be there.
His name is Real One.
Real One. Is that what it is this week?
You say Riz's
but
friend's name correctly.
I'll say Riz's friend's name correctly. Yes.
You can't.
So
you can teach that.
they'll be taking on the Revenue, the former Rev Ron Hunt. So that will be fun, and whatever's going on there situation. What else they got announced over there? Glenn Spector, Super Hentai. That's going to be a nice old school one. It was really cool. Jim Lamont has been doing some really good videos because those are guys that have been around for like 20, 30 years. So there's a lot of history there. Brandon Day is going to debut from that we know from NWA Exodus. That's a big time dude that we've been seeing up there. So again, really cool stuff. That's going to be Saturday on the network, and then APWF will be Sunday. Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. Our friend Bubba Brewer, his promotion out there, and I know, like I said, Rhino's going to be a part of that. Spencer Slade from the NWA is going to be part of that. Just double checking. It's actually going to be Bill Collier and Gorgeous Gregory, who's another great talent. So excited to see that. Rhino's going to be taking on Vince Balor, who I think is from the Buffalo area, if I'm not mistaken. And again, they got some really decent talent. Ava Brooks, that's been a recent friend of the show, is going to be on the card. And a lot of the faces that we're used to over there. So, Cristiano Argento, the former Mambo Italiano, is taking on Cowpoke Paul on this show. I just saw. So it's gonna be fun. They put on a really good show out there.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, APWF is one of those booker's dreams, where you're just like
a little bit.
Every month it's gonna be something different. I know we had. I think the one I did had. I think it was the first time it was Collier and Slade.
Mm-hmm.
Which
by
was
the way,
amazing.
I gotta give a word out for that Spencer Slade Bill Collier match at Big League a couple weeks ago. It's on our VOD. They did like 25 minutes. Oh my God. I was the sole videographer on that one, right? And okay, Riz, you've shot wrestling. You know that thing where you're just like, okay, we're going, and like, okay, rest hold. I can rest too, right? These guys went. Those are Bill Collier's a big dude, muscle dude, 6 foot, 5, 6 maybe. He's like a bit taller than me. Spencer Slade's a honking dude too. They went at it. It is one of the best big man matches I have seen, and I don't even know how long. They just went nonstop. It was crazy. And then the greatest heel turn at the end. It just blew my mind what they pulled off with that match. Big League Pro Wrestling. Spencer Slade is the champion up there, so it was a championship match. So is Bill just like trying to get his? You know what I mean? It's Patriot Games is the show. It's on IndieWrestling.us. Man, I was so happy with that match. And recommend anybody to do it. I'm hoping we can do something with it, more publics later or something. But man, for now, go check that out. It was a really good show. It's generally it was one of the best big league shows since the brand change that I think they've done, honestly. So Tiffany Neves was there with Katie Arquette. Was a great match. So like there's a lot of bangers on that show. So there was a EC3 couldn't make it, so there was a handicap match with J Rock and a couple guys I can't recall at the moment against Joe Keys. Joe Keys laid out after taking the Pretty Boy Smooth's finisher for about 15 minutes of the intermission.
That's great.
So, like Chuck Roberts went out and poked him. Like I'm kind of like, you okay, buddy? You know, I'm just like,
Wait, did he call him buddy?
Back.
Did he call him buddy?
Oh yeah, he definitely called him Buddy Power or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's Chuck Roberts we're talking about, right? So
That's
how we
you said
go.
you talked to him. You said buddy.
There was a you know, it's a Comic-Con announcement for Rikishi turned into a table spot. It was a great fun show. I love going to Gary for wrestling. Oh yeah, it's on the internet. You know, it's a thing. Like the lady that runs the Comic-Con was there and she was pregnant. You know, it was a lot of stuff. I know if this is RWA, she would have gotten a pile driver, obviously.
This sounds just as crazy as what I was saying happened at Triple Mania.
Matt, I know you go to a lot of independent wrestling. There's more. It gets crazy. So you need to take a trip to Detroit with me sometime. Anyhow, got it. Also, side note: has anybody seen this bit with Frio? Sent me some video that he did of Horror Slam last weekend. I'm going to see Frio here in a couple days. Rhino against Beastman. First of all, great.
I mean, yes.
Let's do it, right?
That's
and it involved a bear trap. Let that sink in. So I'll leave it with that.
I'm scared.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us. True Prince of Pro on the social medias, Blue Sky, the Twitter X, Zwitter,
Somewhere.
whatever it is.
Just Google it. It might show up.
Thank you so much for supporting independent wrestling, especially our shows that we do and getting those out there in front of people. So are you holding a light over me? Katie just walked. She's holding another light over me. You can see the glare.
Just dramatic lighting on you now.
You good? Thank you. Now I'm blind. All right, I'll find the button to get out of here somehow. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Riz. Thank you for all you do as well.
Sword.
Yes.
Matt, what did you learn this week in wrestling?
Oh God! Oh my God! That's the show.
This
We learned
is
stuff.
This is the actual show. Why am I doing your job?
You're the host now, Riz.
I'm the host now.
Because
Look at
I'm
me.
so tired and I don't know what state I'm in, and I have a damn lizard on my shoulder.
What'd the lizard learn? That's the real question.
Yeah, what did the iguana learn, Sorg?
Today, the iguana learned how fun it is to take a ride on a backpack. And I let him drive for a little bit, too. Katie confirms. So, I learned that a bear trap can be used in wrestling. That's what I learned. Thank you, Frio, for that. And lizards are cool.
But Matt, what did you learn in wrestling this week?
Okay. Well, I learned this week that sometimes independent wrestling promotions book specifically for me, and I really appreciate that. I don't know if anyone saw the previous, or was it like 5 days ago or whatever, that Enjoy Wrestling announced at their next show that Andrew Palace is wrestling LJ Cleary, who wrestles in Ireland, and he's been in the States now for about 6 months, and he's staying now down here. I've been watching that guy wrestle for about since 2018, I think. He's literally been like one of my favorite wrestlers over there. Never thought I'd see him get to wrestle in anywhere near me. Literally when he announced where he was like, "Oh, I'm now here in the US forever," or whatever, for his permanent thing, I literally was like, tagged every promotion nearby. I was like, "Can someone please book this man here? I would like to see him." And then Enjoy Wrestling did that within like 2 months later. So I really appreciate that.
He was at that last Exodus show. They had him in a 4-way. He was a lot of fun. And really seemed like a really cool guy. My brief interaction with him. So, no, that was No, I'm glad to see him at. I'm glad to see him at Enjoy, and I can't wait to go check that out. I'm sure Riz will be there too. So, July 5th, Enjoy Wrestling, and some really cool, I think, announcements are going to be coming up soon for that too.
They just announced a 6-man tag for tonight. Fashionista street fight.
Yeah.
Yep, Runway and a mystery person versus the Best Business Bureau, Darius Carter and the Kings of the District.
I feel like knowing Exodus, or I'm sorry, knowing Enjoy Wrestling, it'll just be a guy in a suit with a question mark, just like they show in the graphic. So it was like a really good vacant mystery image. I was just very interested about that. So, anyways, very cool. Riz, what'd you learn from wrestling?
I am actually going to do the chat room since Sorg is
Please, because I don't
not
have
the
a chat
host
room right
anymore.
now. No.
Tina learned that it's almost G1 climax time.
Mm-hmm.
And after the NJWP, after New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion, Bullet Club is dying a slow, agonizing death.
Oh no!
I haven't watched it. And Podner learned that Nyla is celebrated in West Virginia.
Got a
By the way,
proclamation of
go to
Morgantown, West Virginia. Yeah.
Yep. By the way, go to VCW, please, Nyla.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Is Nyla doing indies?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
Somebody, well, Riz, can you know the booker over at BCW? Can you just drop him that message? You know,
He just yells at me a lot.
now
It's fine.
co-sign. He yells at everybody. Come on.
I know.
Yells,
He threw a chair at me at one
husks.
point.
He's throwing a chair at everybody, man.
But
They
did
were
you
really
deserve
mad
it?
at-
That's the question.
Yeah,
he threw a-
probably.
He threw a
Yeah.
chair at that guy at GCW after he tripped over it. You know, like stuff like
Yeah,
that.
why did he put this
you know?
chair there? Why did he put
Like,
this
you don't
chair
mess
there?
with the venue chairs, bro. I don't care what decade or what prehistoric era you're from.
Yep, and I learned
Yes.
that Xavier Woods is the nerdiest wrestler in history of WWE. He dressed dressed as also I think this weekend was like the anniversary of Up Up Down Down.
Yep. 10 years of Up Up Down Down.
But in the background of a meeting, I guess, of
He
a
was a
background
walk-by.
segment.
He was a
It was
walk-by. Yeah.
He was dressed as Silky Johnson from the Chappelle Show, the Players Haters Ball, and it took everything out of that entire promo. The entire walkout is just, oh wait, there's Xavier Woods
I think
dressing
it was
like a
Becky
weird.
Lynch walking by or something. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
it was.
So-
It was.
yeah,
It
or
was
Bailey.
for a
No, it was Bailey.
storyline.
It was Bailey.
Yeah, it was for a good storyline.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, no.
What do I do?
Oh, no.
What do I do?
What do you-
How do I do it? Go away! Stop! I hold on. There we go. Put in the preview. Sorry, I bumped it.
We back?
Yeah, we back.
Ooh.
But yes. But yeah. Of course, it was Bailey though.
Yeah.
Woods probably told her that was like going to happen. It's like, okay, that's fine. Sorg.
It's Lester's bedtime.
It's.
We have to end the show now.
Is that why the lights are off?
Oh, so we need to name him. We also need. No, the sun went down. Yeah, the big light turned off. We need to name him, and so, go to Wrestling Mayhem Show's Facebook group, and somebody start a thread that says, "What do we name the lizard?" The Mayhem lizard.
Lunchbox.
No, we already have a lunchbox. We have a lunchbox at home. Oh, the light's on. Hey, look, there's lights in here. So, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Mayhem out.
Just
Maybe.
wait. Just
Maybe.
wait. Just
Maybe.
wait.
I don't
Just
even
wait.
know.
Just wait.
I don't know why.
Please
Why is
wait.
this going?
Just wait.
Just wait. Just
Your
wait.
call is very important to us.
Oh, there.
Just wait, just wait, just wait.
I hope you leave all of that in
For
there.
the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.